Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 6 of social media marketing. And in this week, we're going to start really focusing in on some specific marketing ideas that are related to social media. Everything that we've studied so far absolutely factors into social media marketing, but it's also sort of factored into marketing in general. And this week, we're going to really start looking at the things that factor into creating social media marketing content. We're going to talk about different types of content, what they're suited for, and how they can help you and benefit your business. You're going to be introduced to a concept known as content buckets. And just as a funny little side, we've talked about how quickly the whole idea and concept and industry of social media marketing is always changing. I will tell you, I took this course, I think about 3 years ago, and content buckets was not a part of it. In fact, when they passed the course to me and I started looking through the material to decide what we were going to work with and study, I was completely lost. I was like, what is content buckets? So I had to go look that up and learn about it myself so that I could pass it on to you. And basically, all that content buckets is, it's a way of visualizing and mentally categorizing different types of contents based on its purpose. Because as always, we want to be intentional. If you don't know what the purpose of your content is, then it's gonna miss its mark. You have to make sure you know what you're doing with it. And some popular content buckets are education, entertainment, inspiration. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, in my marketing, my purpose is to gain customers and make more money. And you're not wrong. That is absolutely the overarching goal of all of your marketing. But this is where you have to start thinking about how social media is specific to itself and different from more generalized marketing. Because yes, if you're paying for a television ad, you want bang for your buck, because that is an expensive endeavor. And that entire commercial is going to be about push my service, push my product. Same is true with radio ads. Same is true with newspaper, magazines, all of the sort of old school traditional ways of marketing you can think of. But if you think about how social media is different, it's constant. It's always going. And you can do it for free. You can pay for it if you would like to. Most platforms offer that. But you can also push a bunch of content through just for free. And so think about when you're on your social media. What stops you? What are you interested in? If I happen to be looking for blue jeans, an ad about blue jeans may catch my eye. But if I'm not really in that moment, or I'm not thinking about that, a funny video or an inspirational post is a whole lot more likely to grab my attention. So while this marketing is all about grabbing customers, in a way it's about grabbing customers by building relationship with them, by interacting with them in ways that they are entertained by, moved by, ways that let them see who you are. Like we talked about in the module about the 3 V's of marketing. You can get across your values and your voice through different types of content. We are also in this module going to talk about timing posts to reach the largest audience. You know that your platform tends to push the most recent content to the top. So during prime hours, you want your content to be recent. So this is something you need to research, you need to consider. There is a similarity to a lot of the platforms. People tend to be on early in the morning, at lunch, in the evening, kind of flows with the work day and when we're not supposed to be on our phone. But certain platforms peak at different times, so do your research there so you know when to time your posts. This module is also going to introduce you to user-generated content. Hashtags, that kind of thing. What are the ways that you can get your followers to do your advertising and marketing for you? How can you engage them in fun ways that make them spread your business, spread your message without even really fully being conscious and realizing that they're doing your work for you? These are all important things that we're going to look at and think about this week. Now, you do have a quiz over weeks 5 and 6. Don't miss that deadline. It's going to work like the last 2 quizzes. And then you have an assignment We're back to the download the Word document thing, answer the questions, save it, turn it in. I will tell you, if you do this assignment with intentionality and then you put it together with your branding manual, you're going to have a lot of direction, focus, and intentionality when we start building content. And now I know some of you may be starting to feel like we're never going to get to building content because this is kind of the boring part, I guess. But just know that this is the work of marketing. You never start marketing without a well thought out and developed plan, and that's what we're doing, and I promise we are getting there. As always, if you need help, reach out to me, and I will see you next week.